The Food Hub at the Wilkes-Barre area CTC is a link between our small local farmers and students at the Wilkes-Barre CTC and the greater community as a whole. This is a job training program for 2 high school seniors enrolled in the warehousing management track, and the goal is to create food security through workforce development and agriculture investment.
It's basically ran through a warehouse. They're doing everything that they have to do in a warehouse atmosphere. They're actually unloading, they're picking. They get the pick ticket. They're sorting it, storing it, and now they're actually going out and loading up trailers, basically. I mean, it's huge. Clancy and them they're very happy with what's going on here, and it's only going to expand. I think we're just going to get bigger.
Initially, we thought we were going to get culinary students, but it ended up working out perfectly with the warehousing students. The work that we do overlaps really well with the curriculum of the warehousing department, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And it was such a great fit and such a good opportunity to give the students hands-on experience that we ended up moving our nonprofit distribution into the warehousing department here at Wilkes-Barre CTC, and it has just been a fantastic coming together of those 2 programs.
So it's like YMCAs and the homeless shelters and the rehab centers, everything like that. And there's a lot of stuff for the children as well. So it's like, it's all really expanded. We get it for them, and then when they come to pick it up, like they take it and, you know, we have a cool little transaction going on.
It's actually good to see them come in. They're happy to come here to pick up, and they're so nice. I mean, everyone comes up and says, you know, they all say hello to you, and we'll see you next time. It's nice to have that partnership coming in and seeing a smile when they come in, but even bigger smile when they're seeing actually what's being loaded in their vehicle. And then they're going to go back and actually share it amongst their organizations who they pass it out to.
With Food Dignity was willing to work where we were instead of trying to push us into their model. So for us, we were a good fit, and it's just a more efficient system. And we find that Food Dignity, hands down, is one of the best food distribution programs we've been involved with.
We also connected the school to Midwest Food Bank, so the students receive a monthly shipment of non-perishable food items that some they keep in the school, and a bunch of different pallets are also distributed out into the community. This has given our local area a location where they can pick up that food closer to home instead of traveling farther away.
So they really understand the ideas of meeting people where they are. Again, we are a very small organization, and we are growing, but we are very small, which means that we have like a ragtag group of volunteers. Folks with us are not salaried, and so we have to work with everyone's schedule. They understood this, and they were willing to work with us on our schedule and even do some of the distribution for us if the need ever arose.
In the community, the nonprofits that we serve are seeing people coming back for the services because they don't have to worry about that next step in accessing food. We're seeing people reducing their barriers to that access to food. If I'm going for services at another organization, I don't need to think about my next transportation to find a food pantry or a grocery store to get this access to food.
When we help the students here, we have many different ways of distributing the food. We bag it up, take it around the building, or let people come into our shop to just, you know, like a supermarket. They just grab what they want.
I think it's huge. I mean, just taking the food and feeding the students in here, which every student's grateful for getting the food that they get. And now actually helping out all of these organizations and loading their cars up and seeing how happy they are when they come to pick it up, it's fabulous here.
A lot of students, more than you probably expect, take the food actually, and they really use it. They don't just leave it around in the cafeteria or anything. They take it home and they grab more when there's also more to grab.
In both programs, students receive the food, they organize the bulk orders, and they distribute it to both their peers at the school and nonprofits in our community. Not only do we pay farmers for the produce that we use in our programming, but another important piece of this puzzle is that the program is curriculum-based, and we pay students for the work that we do through grants from the Luzerne Schuylkill Workforce Development Board.
Oh, it's important for many reasons. One, this process, especially when it comes to food, needs to be intergenerational. That is the prime focus that we need to have when we think about food and food security. The folks who struggle the most with food are our younger folks, our children, right? Because ultimately they're not in charge in how the food is delivered to them. So to have them have a stake in the process, for them to learn at a very young age, will begin to change the cycle of how food is looked at and how it's distributed throughout the community.
At the end of the day, everything has a cost. So whether we're paying for dumpsters to take away food that has unfortunately gone past its shelf life, or we're paying to get that food to places where it can be used and get on someone's table, they all have a cost. And so with this program, we're seeing reduced food waste, we're seeing really great outcomes for our farmers in terms of being able to focus on growing and harvesting versus getting their food to an outlet.
I love the fact that we're getting it from the farms, the local farms. Again, we need to focus on economic development, and that pipeline, how we utilize that pipeline is very important. So to get that fresh produce, and I know it's coming from the local farmers, is so important. It's important for morale, it's important for community, and also the closer we are to the ground, the better off the system is. Sometimes you're an entire family trying to receive food. To have a process that's so, as a matter of factly, that's so informal, that meets you where you are, should be the standard. It should be the gold standard when it comes to food distribution models, especially for the food insecure. And so if I could beat that drum, this should be the standard model that we have moving forward. And it's not to say that the traditional food pantry models do not work. They do work, but this should be the forebearer for what food distribution looks like.
We are purchasing produce that is high quality. We want people to be able to take this produce home and have it for a while, have it last in their fridge so that they can plan to use it and eat it without needing to think, oh, if I don't eat this in the next day, I need to throw it in the trash. When we're talking about people, anyone with limited resources, we're also talking about time. So we want to reduce their time in accessing that food by providing it at a place where they're already receiving services, and also give them more time to utilize that food, because it's only going to benefit us if we eat it